Hey, what's up, guys? This is Fletcher Greene, the man behind the Hollywood Fix. I'm here right now with Dax and Adam from Hollywood Raw. We're about to get in all the latest gossip, trends, cringy topics, anything, you name it.
What's up, Hollywood Raw fam? Welcome to our YouTube page. Make sure you tap that little bell, subscribe to our channel, like, comment, do all the things down below. What up,
What's
buddy?
up, dude?
How are you? What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in New York City. The people are starting to come back to the streets. We're seeing celebrities again, which is a lot of fun.
Hallelujah. Life is getting back to normal, and now we're getting this new strain of COVID, and we're all going to get locked up again.
I heard about that. That's pretty wild, huh?
Oh.
I know.
I don't think I could handle another strain, another lockdown. Like, screw that, dude. Like,
I think for you, it's more like you don't want Disneyland to close. You live so close to Disneyland, you don't want that to close.
I don't want to be locked up with my children
again. I hear you, bud. Well, listen, thank you guys for listening to the Hollywood Raw podcast, where we like to say we humanize Hollywood. We reveal the fourth wall of Hollywood. We talk to everyone from the celebrities to the publicists to the bodyguards to the paparazzi themselves to the biggest news editors in the world. And they get pretty raw with us, and that's why we call the show Hollywood Raw.
Hollywood Raw, and we're actually going to get into it with a paparazzi today, and not in a bad way get into it, but chat with one of our friends, Fletcher Greene, who runs the Hollywood Fix, which is one of the most popular YouTube pages when it comes to covering celebrities, social media stars, kind of everyone. He has really cornered the market out there, more so that I would say than even the TMZs and Access Hollywoods, because his content becomes very viral. He gets
it's huge.
Insane interviews, and I mean, we had him on maybe like a year ago, and I mean, his numbers have shot up, like 1 million more subscribers since we last talked to him, dude.
Yeah, the guy is insanely, he works insanely hard, but he's got this huge YouTube channel, and he does a lot with social media stars. He does a lot with celebrities, and it's crazy because they all know him. You know, they say, "Hey, Fletch," and they all know who he is, but he created this big platform where he won't talk about it because he's a very good guy, but he's doing very, very well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not crushing. He can't retire, but financially, he had a good year.
Dude,
you know,
he's making some major coin, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but he's doing very well, and honestly, he deserves all the credit because he's crushing it. Before we get to him, we like to do a thing where if you leave a review on this podcast, it's the best thing you do to support this podcast. If you leave a review, 5-star only, and say a few kind words, and actually you have to give us 5 stars, it helps out with the podcast algorithm. So basically, it'll help us out. We don't ask for money on this podcast. That's how we monetize it, and it just helps us boost up the charts. Weird, I know, but if you leave a review, and give us 5 stars, actually really helps us out. And if you leave a review, we will actually read your review on air. That's what Dax does. Dax, do you have a review for us today?
I got a review. All right, let's pull this one up. It is from LBT. And it says, "Laughter. The guy's laughter is infectious. Great podcast, great content, great guests. Get you away from the doom and gloom from the world right now."
Aww. Very cool. Well, thank you for that. And again, make sure you leave a review.
Or a message. You can leave us a message. We've got to go at our hotline up. It's 833-HWR line, 833-HWR line. Call us, leave a drunk dial, whatever you want to do, and we can play your audio on the air because, you know, we like to be a little interactive with you guys. And on that note, you can also send us a video of you asking a question to a celebrity because we'll also play those in our fan question roulette. So record yourself, say your name, where you're from, and then DM it to our Hollywood Raw Instagram handle. And then our producer, Pat, will throw that in the show for us randomly.
Yes. Very, very cool. So, like we said, we got a very, very cool guest today. A guy who is a friend of mine. I'm a fan of him, and it's cool. Dax, tell us about our guest today.
So our guest today is someone who came out of the pandemic as, I would say, a media king. He went from paparazzi to creating one of the biggest YouTube sites covering all the biggest celebrities and social media stars out there, creating the huge Instagram and YouTube account, The Hollywood Fix. So Fletcher Greene, welcome, buddy.
You know, it's so cool when I hear Fletcher's voice. I hear him all the time because I watch the Hollywood Fix all the time.
Mhm.
So for me, it's not even just. It's like I hear his voice all the time. So it's always cool talking to him. You know,
For
it's
sure,
great.
for sure. It's good to
Yeah.
see you guys too, man. It's been a while. It's been like several months, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and I'm looking, did you move since the last time
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked?
No, I'm in a different room than I was the last time that we talked. No.
I,
Yeah,
I
That's
no,
what
was like, oh, Fletcher's over there making moves, moving up. I like this.
no, same place, just a different room.
yeah.
I
So
was gonna use my computer and I think I spoke to you in my office last time, but no, this is just a different room. No,
Oh,
same
gotcha.
place, different room. Yeah.
So Fletcher is, obviously runs the, we talk about the Hollywood Fix. He's also a photographer, he's a videographer. He does it all. He takes amazing photos and he also does amazing video interviews. But I was just telling him, we have a similar. I don't do photos, but I just do video. It's been a little bit harder to place video in the media outlets. Of course, you have some insane video, a media outlet will get it, but the normal average video, there's just no home for it. However, fortunately for you, because your YouTube channel is amazing, you could monetize the YouTube. So you're doing well in that aspect. Yeah.
So I've got a question for both of you guys because you both are active photographers, paparazzi, however you want to call yourselves. And I feel that over the pandemic and quarantine, a lot of the big agencies were shutting down, closing their doors. People weren't going out. Paparazzi didn't have business. No one was making money. Do you feel like that has now changed? Everyone's back in the game again?
It was weird for me. I actually made more money in the pandemic than I did now, because the thing is, for me, when you had all these people that were on their phone, they were basically forced to be at home and were, engaging more in like YouTube and stuff like that, and social media. They were engaging in it more because they were basically forced to be at home. um but this happened in a lot of markets. Like, I also am like really big into collecting sports cards and stuff like that.
Yep.
And you had, like, say, for instance, like the sport card market went through the roof. It skyrocketed. I mean, cards that were normally worth a few $1,000s became worth hundreds of thousands. You had the liquor industry shot up, skyrocketed. Netflix skyrocketed. Everything. There was like a bubble where, from everyone being forced to be at home, that the industries that catered to you being at home, I'm sure, like even Postmates or something, their numbers went through the roof. But then once people get back to everyday life, things kind of come crashing back down to normal. So for me, I blew up when people were kind of forced to be at home. But now people are like, I've got to go to school. I've got to go to work. I'm going to go visit my family. I'm taking a vacation. They're not just sitting at home stuck on their iPhone or on their computer for, what I mean, the whole entire time. So for me, things have kind of like settled back down more to a normal pace and stuff like that. But for me, the TikTokers and stuff were coming out a lot during the pandemic. But I mean, they still do, but there's just not the big, huge interest like there used to be.
Okay.
So yeah,
who are the social media stars that you feel like really lost their thunder?
Well, it used to be, I don't know if it had more. There was basically just anyone in the TikTok community was just doing really well. And also the TikTok app kind of came out right around when the pandemic first started. So, having a new app break, a new kind of wave of people come out, and the perfect storm of being basically forced to watch it because you're stuck in home. You know what I'm saying? That kind of made things better. But once things got back to normal, there's only a few left standing that still do well. I don't want to specifically say anyone's name in particular, but there's only a few left that are like kind of like the last men standing. You know what I mean? Or women or whatever.
I feel
So
you.
Fletcher, obviously we've talked about your website and it being crazy successful.
Well, thank you.
What like video do you feel like has been your best get since launching your YouTube page? Like, what is the one? And I don't even know if it necessarily has the most views or whatever, but you were like, fuck yeah, that was an amazing get.
It's weird, like some of the ones that I get that I really like might not even do that well. But then, my most popular video was when Cristiano Ronaldo like shoved this kid. And to me, when it happened, I didn't think it was a big deal at all.
Yeah, I
You know
seen
what
that
I
video on your
mean?
page. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's just weird because that I wasn't expecting it to do so well. But a lot it's weird because a lot of it too is like YouTube's algorithm, because I might get even the same thing as someone else, and a channel with less subscribers, might slightly call it a different name, or it might get put in. YouTube might push it out in their algorithm more, and then another channel might get more views, or vice versa. I mean, as far as me, something that it's weird because I see so much stuff every day that I'm kind of to the point now where it's like I don't even really remember it. It just kind of comes and goes, and then when I might spend hours and hours and hours putting up 15 different videos in a day, and I can literally go get dinner and come back home, and then there's a whole giant list of new things to put up, and I'm getting texts in my phone of new events coming on and come here and this. So stuff kind of just gets pushed out quickly. You know what I mean? So it's hard
Wait, do you have a team under you now?
No, well, basically I work with Backgrid and also Getty. So the thing is it's not necessarily a team, it's more of just like purchasing
He's
rights
like a
for.
subscription type thing, right?
Right, a subscription. Yeah. So like I have a subscription with Getty, I have a subscription with Backgrid, and I looked at some other agencies, but they didn't really have that much content. So that not only I'll go out during the day and I'll be looking for my own stuff, but then I'll also if other photographers post this or this, then I might pick it up. Like say with the New York stuff, like I can't be in New York or in different countries and stuff like that. So then
No,
I'll pick.
it's awesome. And actually, what Fletcher actually does is what I was saying earlier, that there's not a lot of place for video anymore. There's not a good home for video, but actually Fletcher will purchase videos and has a subscription and kind of uses other people's videos now. And these are videos that the outlets just don't use. And I think it's their mistake, but he has such a great platform that he's able to utilize these videos.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's 10 paparazzi there. There actually is a lot of video out there because most photographers now, they're not just shooting photos. And again, Fletcher, we know this. We take this for granted because we know this so well. But most paparazzi aren't just taking still photos. On top of their still photo is a point and shoot, another camera
Right.
or a video camera actually taking video. So they're documenting the whole experience. So Fletcher's
Right.
actually helping these photographers and giving them a place to make a few extra bucks that they probably couldn't do elsewise.
Right. And and I do the same thing, when I'm out shooting, I'm doing both photos and video at the same time too. And it just helps. It helps to get like I really don't do that well with photos. I mean, I can post pictures on Instagram, but I don't get paid $1 for that. You know what I mean? So that's just free content, just for promotional purposes only. And I mean, the thing is that most things, when most things come out, like say if Lady Gaga does come out, I mean, you've seen her out of the Plaza Hotel. There's 100 people there, 100 to 200 people, and they've all got phones, they've all got cameras. So for you to actually make a sale on that can be very difficult. And then you've got what happens is that with the media outlets now, I mean, I've watched episodes of Entertainment Tonight, and they'll run the entire show off of nothing but social media posts.
Yeah.
So, because everyone's posting their own videos on Instagram, on Twitter, on Instagram stories. So, they can just say, oh, Jessica Simpson did blah, 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 and here's the video she posted. Or, oh, Kevin Hart posted this picture, and they'll run a full blown, you know what I'm saying, hour-long episode of Entertainment Tonight just strictly off social media, and they don't have to pay a penny for that.
Yeah.
Do you
So
feel like you ever get to rest? Because I know I was running an entertainment website after TMZ, And it was like you just could never turn it off because things are constantly happening. It's like
Yeah.
you step away for 5 minutes and Selena Gomez went out for a run in her jog bra or whatever, and then you're like, I need to get this up because it's going to be huge for traffic.
Right.
Do
I'm
you
literally
ever get-
getting text right now as we're talking. Like, apparently JoJo C was like filming something right now, so everyone's like texting me as we're talking right now. So
So,
yeah,
but
no,
do you actually, Fletcher, that while we're on that, do you get, and I get it, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, because you just, you know, we're such fans of these people that we
Yeah.
want to go see this, you know, we want to go check it out. You know, it's,
Mhm.
there's definitely a rush to it. You know, there's a dopamine adrenaline to it that we kind of, we
Yeah.
crave. So yes, it is exhausting because you're always if you see someone else shoot, it's like, fuck, I wanted to go talk to, you know, Adam Sandler, go see Adam Sandler, or
Right.
go see this person.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and you always want to get the content and stuff like that. For me, I feel after so many years, I mean, I think I'm in my 8th year now of doing this. So for me, I'm almost a little bit numb to it. When I very first started, I was super excited. You know what I mean? I was super excited to see people and stuff like that. Over time, I just almost am completely numb to it. But yeah, it is when something really good happens, or when you shoot something and you're just like, that was good, then that, you know what I mean. But it's almost rare to have that or experience that, because for the most part it's mainly just people going from door A to door B. It's rare that something crazy happens. Like I wasn't there, but like there was one time when Cara Delevingne went to go like pull her keys out of her pocket or something, and a bag of Coke falls out, and someone got a picture where the bag of Coke is like floating in midair, and then she bends over and picks it up, puts it back in her pocket, and then goes inside. Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's a video of Paris Hilton where she goes to pay the valet, and a bag of Coke falls out of her wallet when she's paying the valet. So
Dude,
stuff
everyone
like
just got bags of Coke falling out.
bags
What's
of
going
Coke.
on?
I know. You know
That's
what I'm
LA,
saying?
flying Coke. That's awesome.
Right. So it just, or like when the Ronaldo, slammed the fan, you know what I mean? Because even Ronaldo was going from, like YSL to Gucci or something. He's just walking across the street. It's most just people going from this door to this door. And it's very, very rare that something that exciting happens.
Sure.
Your journey from this door to that door. And, but I like it when it's something good, or when it's,
or get a good interview.
Yeah, or get a good interview, or if they say something that that people don't know about yet. So like I can't even remember. I mean, one time like Justin Bieber was in this gazebo, and he was like laying there with no shirt on, and I thought it was just him by himself. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the hell is he doing at this gazebo? And then he stands up and walks off. And then out of nowhere, Kendall Jenner was laying down in the gazebo. And then she stands up and walks off with him, and he's got no shirt on. And that completely shocked me. I was like, what? Had no clue that she was there. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, okay, that was crazy. But just the standard, I'm sure you guys have heard of Craig's.
Yes.
The restaurant.
On, Fletcher.
Yeah,
we don't live under a rock. We work in this entertainment
no,
industry.
but I'm just saying, like, not everyone has. I know you guys have, but just like, oh, we went to Craig's, like, oh, look, here's, whoever goes to Craig's, and they're in the door and out the door. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. It's almost a little boring. You know what I mean?
Sure, I get it. It makes it boring because there's a lot of other photographers there, so it changes up the whole entire experience. Especially for a guy like you, you want to engage, and you can't really engage in that thing. Once you feel like you can't engage with them, like for example, I was just saying I had a tip on Lady Gaga today, and yesterday she's been doing the same thing every day, and I could go do it, but I don't feel like dealing with the hoopla, all the other guys. It's not fun. The experience is, it's not a great experience. Me personally, I like to try to meet these people. And if I don't feel like I'm actually going to be able to meet them, then it's not really, or connect with them in some sort of short way.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Or even if you don't necessarily get to meet or connect with them, just if something crazy happens, or they get, You know what I mean? Just if something crazy happens where it's just memorable and it was good, then yeah. But just the standard walking around type stuff, that's what I see the majority of the time. Like 90% of the time, it's just kind of somebody walking around and stuff like that. So it's better when you get to kind of get to actually know them, and that type of stuff does better if they talk, if people talk. And see, with a lot of people, you're not going to get that. It's very, very rare. Like, say, with Kim Kardashian, I've probably shot her at least 100 times, and she pretty much never says anything. But every now and then, she might stop and sign a bunch of autographs or take a bunch of selfies, or make a joke or something. But it's rare. So
who is your favorite person to cover? Like, when you see them coming out, you're like, this is gonna be great because they're awesome, they like me, or they're just a cool person.
Oh man, I couldn't even say. I don't even know. What about you, Adam? What do you think?
The one story, like, um, that's a good question. I mean, like, it had to be someone like one of the New Yorkers, because like the New Yorker celebrities I see all the time. Like, it's like weird at this point. We almost don't even shoot them. So someone like that's like was like Gail King, which again, it's not the biggest star. It's not going to sell to the magazines, but we see each other all the time. I've interviewed her all the time. I've not interviewed all the time, but at least said hi to her. So it's just like, yeah, we don't have as many celebrities as are in LA. And, it becomes weird once you get the regular New Yorkers that you see all the time.
Yeah.
I would say
don't know.
for you, I say every time you get Shaq, it always turns into a freaking fun time, dude.
Yeah, I mean, when I get Shaq or Michael Bublé, it's always going to turn into like a performance, because we're just like outdoing each other. We're just kind of having fun on the street. Like, we almost make a skit. Same thing with Shaq. It's always becomes a skit. Sarah Silverman always becomes a skit. Actually, one of my favorite videos that I never did anything with, I had Sarah Silverman at the Bowery Hotel, and I said, Sarah, and this was when I was at TMZ. I said, hey, Sarah, do you think penises are ugly? And she's like, no, not at all. I go, really? She goes, let me see yours. And then she looked at my, she goes, no, you have a pretty penis. And I showed her my penis. I didn't I pulled my pants out so she could see it. And she's like, no, you have a pretty penis. And then walked in the door. And the video was hysterical. Like, I told the paparazzi across the street who didn't even shoot that, like, yo, that's so funny. And then when I called TMZ, I was like, hey, man, I want to send this video. They're like, yeah, I don't know if you should. That could, you showed someone your penis. Like, I don't know what you're thinking. I never did anything with that video.
It's hilarious. Yeah, see, I couldn't post something like that.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't put, blah, 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 penis and blah, blah, blah. Mine is, I got to keep it as family friendly as possible. So no, I got a text, and it knocked my thing out. It knocked my signal out or whatever.
So here, I want to ask you a question, Fletcher, because obviously your bread and butter for many years have been social media stars. What is your thoughts on this whole boxing trend with social media? Do you feel like this is going to go away, like people are over it, or is this going to keep going?
I'm personally not into it. I think people are going to it. I mean, my honest opinion is I think I would say a lack of creativity. The thing is that it seems easy, to make something and put something on YouTube or something. But I mean, you really just you've got a camera, you've got your YouTube channel and stuff like that. But you really have to think, like, what am I going to actually film and edit to make content? And it actually gets tough. And, a lot of people do the same pranks. They do reviews on video games. They do kind of the same content. And it's very tough and hard to think up new content ideas. And it's like, hey, we can just say we're going to fight each other, and then that'll cover enough content. We can all sit around and talk about it for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm not into it. And I mean, the thing is too, is it's all pretty much fake too. I mean, there's just guys going, hey, I'll pay you to fight him, and we'll pay you, and then we're going to film it and make money off of it. And I think it's just, I'm not into it at all. I don't like that style of content. And I mean, if it were, I don't know, just me personally, one thing that I will say was kind of good was when Bryce and Austin got into the little scuffle at the
press conference?
At the press
Weigh-in.
conference, I was not expecting that, so that was good. I thought they were just going to kind of yell at each other and call each other names and stuff, but just overall, it's not really my thing.
Wait, did you ever think that beef between Austin and Bryce was real? Or was it just they were thinking the end picture, hey, we can make a lot of money?
I think I don't really know. I mean, I think it might have been real a little bit, but I mean, it's kind of like there's just money involved. You know what I mean? And it's just like, hey, Dax and Adam, I'll give you $100,000 and I'll give you $100,000, and then y'all just cuss each other out and go fight, and then you both get paid. It's like, okay, well, screw this guy. We got beef. We're gonna fight. You know what I mean? To me, it's just not really my thing. It's kind of like, and I mean, even at the press conference, you heard several guys say, I don't even have anything against this guy. I'm just here collecting a check. So, I don't really know, but it just wasn't my thing. It's not anything that I would watch. And a lot of that stuff, it happens so quickly too, that for me personally, it's like, why would I pay $50 to watch this when in a matter of seconds after it's over, it's all going to be on Instagram for free?
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, I don't really pay to watch it. And it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I like more of the real type drama with relationships and friendships and, people, what actually really happens. But it's rare that you'll get kind of a cloud of good drama going on. One thing recently that was a good thing in the TikTok world was when this guy, Jaden Hostler, started dating this other girl, Nessa Barrett, who was kind of his best friend's ex-girlfriend. So, that's kind of, it's never good when you start dating your best friend's ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? So when you have a real storm of something shocking that's happening, and that's good, but just kind of fake created beef for views is kind of like, it's kind of hollow. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally know what you mean.
So I mean, and I covered it, but it wasn't anything that was, to me, was
You
really.
have to, because if you're not, then you look like you're not on top of your shit. So you kind of have to cover it.
Yeah, you have to, and it's just what people are doing. And if you're getting people at the gym, training for their fight, then you got to talk about it. But
have you seen Bryce out since the fight?
Yeah, I saw him at the fight. I saw him after the fight. I've seen him, and he did very well. I mean, considering he's not a fighter, I mean, he gave it his all. I know for a fact he trained hard because I see him at the gym every single day. So I thought he did a fantastic job, and I think now in a way he's kind of glad that he can let it go because he can just be more of himself now. And I think he tweeted something like, I just want to go back to being a TikToker and making videos and doing, fun videos with his friends and not have to be, like a fighter and stuff like that, because I'm sure that gets old having to always, kind of like be a fighter for your content and stuff like that. So, I think he seems a lot happier now that it's over. I don't know if he would want to do it again. I mean, I don't know, but for money, it's always good to get a paycheck. So,
do you think the beef between Michael Gruen and Bryce Hall is real?
I don't even know anything about that. I saw the tweet, but I had no idea what it was about. What was it about?
Apparently, like from what I remember, it was like Michael Gruen. Bryce Hall called out Michael Gruen, saying you're a fraud, you don't own that much Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, Michael kind of ruined a lot of Bryce's credibility, saying they would never get over 100,000 pay-per-view buys. And he was just being like a dick of a friend, I guess. And that's how Bryce felt. So I guess that was the beef.
Wow.
And Bryce is not happy about it, but I didn't know if you were on top of that.
No, I don't speak to Michael Gruen a lot. I haven't seen him really in a while. I don't know much about what he does. I can't really speak on him or his business. And even same with Bryce, I don't know what all he's got going on. But I would say that it probably seemed to me, without knowing much about the story, that it seemed like maybe Bryce was just calling him out for maybe something that he was trying to be that he wasn't. But I really don't know a lot on that. I honestly couldn't speak about it.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know. What do you
So
guys think?
no, I'm still trying to figure it out. I
I
think
feel like we have our own opinions of
yeah.
of some of
Yeah.
those people.
I don't know. I just feel
listen.
like
I
you're
like
just
Bryce. I
closer
really
to it.
like
Yeah.
Bryce. When he came on our podcast, he was awesome. He was
Very
wonderful.
nice. Very
We
likable.
were like one of the first people to ask him about doing celebrity boxing,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Yeah, I'm totally interested. Like, sign me up. I really want to do this."
Wow.
And the next thing you know, he's doing celebrity boxing.
Mhm.
So I really like him. We never got a chance to follow up with him because Michael Gruen didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's some things that I could say, but I kind of don't want to get into it. But yeah, if Bryce said what he said, then he probably meant it.
Yeah. I want to know why is Madison Beer not a fan of the paparazzi? She looks great, we always see her, she looks good in photos, but I
No,
feel
she
like
was
it's
totally. She used to do like setup stuff before. She has to be a fan of the paparazzi. Don't give me that shit. She was
Yeah,
fully doing setup shots before.
yeah. I haven't seen her in a while, and I don't know if I really just don't see her. Once she got with the TikToker, Nick Austin from the Hype House, she kind
yeah.
of disappeared. And she does have a skincare line or something with Vanessa Hudgens coming out. And But I really don't see her that much anymore. I used to see her almost if not every day, every other day, because she would, just always out in popular areas of town like Melrose and Beverly Hills and stuff like that. But that she's a good person. I just haven't seen her a lot anymore. She might just be wanting to keep her relationship private. You know what I mean? Maybe. I honestly don't know. I really haven't seen her. I don't know if she moved, or I think her parents or her dad might live in New York, so maybe she's back in New York or something. So
Yeah. What
So
it
for you, Fletcher, you've covered so many famous people, but I feel like over the last year, 2 years, it's shifted a lot where you've become a pretty familiar face in Hollywood that people are now inviting you to come on their shows, like, Logan Paul did and Dixie
mhm.
D'Amelio did. Like,
Yeah, that
is
was
it
fun.
weird when you're starting to get the recognition from the people that you cover?
Um, it doesn't seem so much weird to me because like I'll see them and have kind of seen them so many times, and also too that there's more time spent with the people than what you actually see on camera. Like, say for instance, if I see someone that's eating, that kind of like unwritten code, and the paparazzi thing is, for the most part, unless it's a special thing, but for the most part, when someone's eating, you don't really shoot them while they're eating. You basically just let
you give
them
them the
sit.
respect.
Yeah. And they see you, they know you're there, and then you might even say something to them or talk to them or this or that, or they might go to the bathroom and say something to you. And so you might actually spend an hour and a half or something, right there next to them while they're eating or doing their stuff or this or that. And then you only see on film the 1 minute where they get up and go to the car, and everyone shoots them when they're leaving. So there's a lot more time spent kind of with these people. And the thing is that it almost can be just kind of like a two-way street, because in one way it's like you're, creating content using them. So then, because it's like, from my end, I see them, but they want to say, well, this is what I see from my end, when they see me there with a big camera, or, a big video camera or something like that. And so they basically are just trying to almost document their life from their angle and stuff. The Logan Paul show, that was a lot of fun. It's actually, he has it all set up on his property. It was really nice. Had a lot of fun with that. And then with the Dixie show, That was really
She
fun.
went
I
on the
mean,
street with you.
huh?
She went on the street with you, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. And that was fun. And I mean, at the taping, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people on the other side of the camera. There's a whole crew and all her family's there. They're behind the there's several different cameras. It's in a studio at multiple angles and stuff like that. But her management, her family, all of them are super, super really good, nice people. And then it kind of wasn't planned. It just happened that she was like, let's go try to find some people. And I was explaining to her, I said, well, it's been kind of slow lately. I don't know if people are on vacation for the summer or if they're actually starting to gear up and film new content. And that's why a lot of people aren't out, because I'm normally used to seeing about 6 or 7 celebrities a day just throughout lunch in Beverly Hills and just grabbing coffee on Melrose Place and stuff like that. And then you have, events like Walk of Fames and movie premieres. I'm used to seeing a good batch of people. And I told her, I said, it's been kind of slow lately. So, I don't know that we'll see anyone. And we went out for maybe about an hour and it was pretty slow, but she ended up spotting, it was Alexis Wren, who's an up and coming model, and she was in the Ed Sheeran music video, and apparently she's in filming some new movies coming out. And I actually didn't even see Alexis because the car drove past us, and Dixie was like, "Oh, bam, there's Alexis Wren right there." So then we had to turn around and we followed her over to Pilates. She was going to this really popular Pilates, like a private house where girls do Pilates. So I'm glad we got something, because that was at the very, very end of it where we were about to give up and go home. And then, Dixie's got her security is all following behind me. So there's like security, cars following behind us while we're trying to find other people. So it was difficult because you got a little caravan of cars trying to find people. But it was a lot of fun though.
How big
Wait,
is her
hold on, Dax. Hold on.
team?
Wait, do the D'Amelios, do they always travel with security now?
Ever since the past few times I've seen them, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
They're that big.
Is it like a pretty big team? Like each one of them has like two
It's not
dudes?
big, but each one of them has their own security, and they're nice. They're cool. They're not like mean, aggressive guys. They're nice. I think, if you ever meet Charlie or Dixie in person, they're small girls, and they're, you know what I mean? They're not like Ronda Rousey or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They're small teenage girls, and that, the parents, want to make sure that their daughters are safe, and you never know when something is going to happen. It just happens. And, they're cool though. Her security guards are cool. They don't.
Wait, so who else? Is there any other social media stars? Like, does Addison Rae, does she travel with a bodyguard?
She used to, and I think she stopped because it's kind of, I mean, imagine just having someone just sitting there next to you every time you're trying to get on the phone or this or that, or,
Yeah.
that, even a lot of time when Justin Bieber goes places, he has security, but they just follow behind him. They're not actually in the car. Or like Kendall's security team will follow behind her. They're not actually with her, but she had security. Addison had security for a while, but you got to pay those people a lot of money for that stuff. And they, but yeah, the D'Amelios, they pretty much always have security now. And I mean, I get it. You want to make sure that your family is safe, it's better safe than sorry. So
what about some of the other big, like David Dobrik? Does he have security, or is he?
No, I rarely see him. I saw him for the first time the other day at the Ivy, and I haven't seen him in probably 2 or 3 years. And it's weird because, we live in the same city. I don't know exactly where he lives, but I mean, just in the LA area. And I never crossed paths with him, but I was glad to see him at the Ivy. He's a really, really nice guy. And, I don't know about all his scandal and stuff like that, but I mean, just me dealing with him, he's always been a great, funny guy. So, but no, he doesn't have any security.
Have you filmed Olivia Rodrigo yet?
No.
So from the paparazzi videos you see of her, how is she? Does she seem nice? Does she seem cool about it? Is she good to the fans?
I've never seen one before. I don't have one video of her posted on my channel. I've never seen her in person, and I've never even heard of her being out, or no one that I've come across has shot her and called me and said, "Hey, you want to buy this video?"
Yeah.
So I think she's got a new boyfriend, which he better
Yeah.
never break up with her, or it's gonna be a whole new album.
Sure.
Hey, it works for Taylor Swift. She gets a whole new album every time she dates someone. Hey, I
Yeah.
want to know, out of all these social media or internet stars that you cover today, who do you think has the most shelf life? So who's going to be relevant in 5 years from now?
I don't even know. It's just weird because people come and go, and things that are so popular, like one of the examples that I always use is Karuchi Tran. Like when I first started, Karuchi was just the hottest person you could get. And I mean, I would just see huge amounts of stolen content of mine whenever I would post Karuchi. So many people would steal it. They would make all these crazy edits, and stuff like that. And then it just, it's very difficult to keep yourself up, and it's that kind of goes back to the boxing of that people can't think of new ideas, and they're not getting booked for things, and they can't think of new things, so they just go, well, we can all go beat each other up, that's pretty easy, and we'll get a paycheck doing that way. So I mean, it's tough, and I mean, there's been a huge crash with the whole TikTok market, because that stuff got overexposed, and it just kind of got old, and so that went down. And I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I think the people that are going to last the longest are, the musicians that can keep going on tour, that are making timeless music. You know what I mean? Like Paul McCartney is 80 something years old, but if Paul McCartney books a US tour, it's going to be sold out every single date. You know what I'm saying? And I think the people that, that have created really good, whether it be music or people that are making shows that are just, that'll stand the test of time, I think those are the people that are going to stay afloat. I mean, but some of the social media stuff, it's tough. You know what I mean? Unless you're getting booked for movies and stuff like that, it's tough to keep things going.
Yeah. What 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 is next for you? Do you think you're like, has anybody big approached the Hollywood Fix, to try to make into some, are you getting a lot of pitches right now to kind of make the Hollywood Fix even something bigger than it already is?
You know what? I'm always asking myself what I'm gonna do. Honestly, to be completely honest, I'm to the point where I'm almost getting burnt out, because it's been, like I said, I'm going into 8 years now of doing this, and you've pretty much seen everybody, pretty much kind of done it all. So that at this point, I'm not really sure, because it's, I don't really know. I honestly don't know, but it gets, anything that you do, when you do it for so long, no matter what it is, eventually you get to a point where it's like, it's work. It's not just fun and games. It's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? And there's tons and tons of hours spent on editing, curating media, a lot of business deals with meeting people to get media. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people just kind of think it's a joke, or you might just run up on somebody and see this or that, but there's tons of hours that go into research of what we got to ask this person, we got to create something and make something. It gets really draining. I think even Jake Paul said in a quote that he was like, boxing is a million times easier to do than YouTube. He was like, it's very hard, to do YouTube. So I think I'm not sure what his run was of how long he did it, but it gets draining after a while. It's very, very mentally draining. So me, that I'm, still, as of today, still going and still keep putting stuff out every single day, but it does get draining. And every time you get to a point where you're like, okay, I just put up 15 new videos, this will hold me over for a couple of days, then all this new stuff starts happening, you got to get right back in there in the editing room and edit tons of stuff and post. And social media, it just never stops. It's just like a train that just keeps going nonstop. So I don't really know what's next, but I mean, sometimes you never do. Sometimes you can't really see what's around the corner because it hasn't happened yet, So I'm always open to working with new people and doing new things if it feels right and it seems right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
It's
What
interesting. Yeah.
well, you said you saw David Dobrik. Do you think he's a change? Like, have you seen a difference in him? Like, have you seen a difference in him ever since he started kind of reappearing out in the media again and reposting on social?
I never saw him that much. I think in all, I'm like I said, I'm going into my 8th year now. I think in 8 years, I've seen him 3 times, three times in 8 years. So he doesn't come out a lot. He doesn't, you know what I mean? It's not a guy that I see a lot. So I really don't know a lot about him. And one misconception too that people think that I have is they think that I watch everybody's YouTube channel and everybody's YouTube videos, and I can't. You know what I mean? I
I
might
hear you.
I might see a highlight here or there on Instagram, but I can't sit there and watch every person's 20-minute vlog and then every person and go to their channel. You know what I mean? I can't. If I was a teenager and I was really interested in it, then maybe, but I just can't sit there and watch every person's vlog and what they said and what he said and his reaction. You know what I mean? It's just so much. But I really don't know a lot about his stuff. I know that he did very well for himself and made a lot of money. And I don't know what's going to end up happening with him. I'm not really sure. That the cancel culture stuff can be, really powerful, and it can come out of nowhere. So, you might be floating along doing just fine. I just saw today James Charles posted a new video on his account. So right now on my social media, I see a lot of people are reacting to his new video. So, then you got Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen was under fire for a lot of stuff she said about Courtney Stodden and Farrah Abraham and stuff like that. So, I really can't speak a lot about the David Dobrik situation because I honestly just don't know it that well.
Yeah. So my last question for you is, of all the celebrities, of all the social media stars, who's the prettiest one in person? The one that just blows you away? Who'd be on your Mount Rushmore?
I would say my girlfriend Maya is definitely, without a doubt, the prettiest one.
Okay. Okay, so Maya the singer, he dates Maya the singer.
No.
What was that shitty movie in Chicago or some shit that they did? A Moulin Rouge? That one. Okay.
No, that's about it. No, I don't have any comment on anything like that.
Oh, come on, Fletch. Just be like, wow, I saw Madison
Dax,
Beer in person.
I know
She's
who
so
Dax
pretty.
is. I know who Dax is one. Dax, yours is James Charles.
James Charles is really pretty. I'm not gonna lie.
That is one good-looking guy right there.
He's very well. Listen, you know what, dude? You're a good guy. It's very cool for me to talk to a guy like Fletcher because, first of all, I'm a fan of what he's doing. But you have to understand, for what me and Fletcher do, this is pretty much the same exact job, except he makes a lot more money and has a lot more successful YouTube site. But but we have the same job, and there's not a lot of us out there. Like, you got to think, if we're such a niche job that there's really like only like 20 people in the world that kind of do what we
here's
do.
the difference. You guys are good at your job. That's the difference. There's a lot of paparazzi out there. There's a lot of people with cameras in their hands, and there's a lot of people taking photographs and whatever of celebrities. You two are good at what you do. You're good at asking questions. You're good at staying up on top of the news. That's what sets you apart. And I think you guys are essentially the same person in different cities is really what it comes down to.
Yeah. You got to be comfortable behind the camera. And I mean, when I first started, my earliest videos are hilarious because I don't say a word. I just am dead silent and just film people. And I mean, it used to scare the hell out of me. You know what I mean? I used to, when I first started, I had no clue what I was doing, and, bad angles and panning down to the ground and not saying a word to people and stuff like that. But over time, just with anything, you build the skill at it and get better. And, you get better equipment, better angles, and, you know what to talk about and stuff like that. So absolutely
But let me ask you this, because I get this all the time. What do you get? You probably get tons of YouTube comments of stop stalking these people, stop harassing them. How do you respond to that? What is your response to that?
Oh, I
get it all the time.
I have in YouTube and stuff like that, you can just block words, so all that stuff is just blocked. So you can't say that. I don't. It doesn't
Or you
even
just
pop up.
say, "Listen, they called me. They want me to be out here. It's okay. They
I
want
mean,
press."
if you want to be honest, I'm like, well, you watched a non-skippable ad to tell me this information. For you, you watched it. You're the, if somebody wants to say that to me, it's like you're the one that's watching it in the first place. Like I don't
Yeah.
watch, you're not going to catch me talking shit on a video about like underwater basket weaving on YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Like just certain stuff I'm not going to watch. So it's like if you're watching it, clearly you're interested in the first place and stuff like that.
And
You know
thanks
what I
for watching the ad so I can get paid for it.
And if you want to talk trash about me, I've got so many words that are censored, so you can't go on there and even if you could say it 100 times, and I'll never even see it ever. It just gets blocked. So that whatever, it doesn't bother me. It's kind of it's just part of the business or something.
Sure.
It doesn't bother. And a lot of times it's some like 7-year-old kid saying that, so
Okay,
Yeah.
I got my one last question for you, which
okay.
is, out of all the people out there, who do you think is the most underhyped social media influencer or star that you're like,
Oh,
I don't know why people aren't talking about this person, but they are going to be the next big star?
man,
Don't you dare say Maya. I swear to God.
no. Actually, Maya is pretty good to pick. No, man, who would it be? I mean, I'm just trying to think. Somebody new there's really not anything new that's like it's kind of everyone's already been done and put out there. There's nothing that I know of. Like I'm not listening to any underground artist right now, or there's no person that's already isn't out there. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like it's weird, but I mean sometimes you might ask me this and I can't think of the answer right now. I might think of it later, but there's not really anyone that I feel like has got a good that's got a good buzz that's not known about yet. Pretty much.
Adam, who would you say?
I thought the Nelk boys have a pretty good thing going on. And I know that's such a stupid common answer, an easy answer, but here's the thing is I'm not in tune with the social media stars as much as Fletcher is. And I only see from my thing. I mean, I think Logan Paul puts out amazing content. I just like his
Those
podcast.
guys are already huge.
Yeah, those guys are already big. It's really hard
there.
to say the next big one. I'd have to just say, and again, they're already big too, is the Nelk boys. But I don't know, he might have a better intel, like better
Okay,
understanding.
here we go. We'll get off that. So, Fletcher, I play a game with Adam where I just name a celebrity and we pretend that person just walked out in front of him and he
Okay.
has to ask a question.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you one and him one, and I just want to see what your guys' answer, because you guys have to think so fast. And I don't think people realize that, like the general population, they don't realize how quick you have to think on your feet when you're a paparazzi, because you could be standing there and you see like a black Escalade, but you don't know who's coming out the door.
Right.
And this one comes out and you're like, shit, I gotta think on my toes.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. You ready, Fletch?
Let's go.
Door opens. Conor McGregor walks out. Go.
I mean, what do you think about the fight with Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul?
All right. I like it. All right. Adam, door flies open. Anne Hathaway walks out.
Do you ever have to pluck the hairs around your nipple? No, that's. I don't know what the purpose. Anne Hathaway. You're working on. I don't know.
All right. It's been
fun, talking about pluck the hairs around your nipple.
Here's
the thing is, realistically, Dax, I don't have to say anything to Anne Hathaway because she's not going to say anything to me back. She won't talk to me.
Yeah, that would be bad. It'd just be kind of like a purse over the face.
Exactly.
You would, yeah.
I know not to even put the camera. I know not to even talk to her. You know what I'm saying? I would actually. So what I would do is I would say, Anne, did you ever go back to your high school reunion? Okay, just to break the ice. And just because it's one of those questions that's so stupid and so basic that it's actually kind of interesting. Did you go back to your high school reunion? And just because if I ask her anything about her career or something she's going to work on, she 100% will not speak. But if I ask something so random and so ridiculous, maybe she will speak.
Yeah, I've heard someone asked Kendall and Gigi that out of nowhere they just hopped out of a Escalade completely unexpected, and the guy was like, "Do you ever eat Cheetos after midnight?" Just completely random.
At left field. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
and
Adam.
what?
That was Adam for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I had an interview one time with Jerome Bettis. And I was really proud of this question, but I was also really interested in this question. I was like, "Hey, Mr. Bettis," and I said in a very realistic way. I said, Jerome Bettis, Hall of Fame NFL running back. I say, Jerome, in the showers in the locker room of the NFL, are they group showers or individual showers? Which is such a stupid question, but I was actually very curious. But it's actually an interesting question. Like,
Right.
are a bunch of NFL players just stand there naked, or like, what is it like, dude? He actually said that's a really weird question, man. And then, and then he actually never told me.
So
yeah,
that means it's
like, I don't know
showers.
about. He's like,
that's
that's a
why
weird
it's weird.
question, but
He didn't want to admit it.
yeah.
Oh my
So-
God, that's hilarious. You come up with good questions.
I appreciate it, but listen, thank you, Fletcher. I'm a fan. I'm a friend. He fucking crushes it. Make sure you check out the Hollywood Fix. It's such a great follow on Instagram and social media. It's on YouTube. It's an unbelievable YouTube video. We're a big fan of what he does. He's, with our first thing we ever said to him was like, "Do not sell this. Do not give it to another company. You are making your own thing. Keep it to yourself." And he did that.
By the way,
I
think since the last time we spoke, Fletcher, I think you were at like, I'm gonna say 600,000 or 700,000 followers, or subscribers on YouTube. You're at like what, 1.9 million now?
Yeah, it'll be
dude.
Yeah, it'll be right at about 1.9. Yeah, so you got to keep growing. Got to keep making it bigger, though. I really appreciate you guys having me on today, and y'all have some really good questions, and I'm gonna have to use Adam's. What is it? Did you ever go to your high school reunion? I gotta
go to your high school reunion.
Right. I need to go find like Brad Pitt or something and be Brad.
Dude, if you ever have a random celebrity and you're waiting for them outside, just text me or send me a message, and I'll give you some questions to give these people to keep the conversation fun.
There you go. Then I'm definitely going to take you up.
Oh, dude, for sure, man. It's fun. That's the fun part. It's like cool. We get to interview the biggest stars in the world. No one interviews more stars in the world than Fletcher. Jimmy Fallon has 2 guests a day. Fletcher will have, literally 2 people an hour. That's just how he works. He kills it.
I try to get as much as possible. I'm definitely trying, to get everything that happens. So yeah, and I really think that the industry is going to be picking up a lot now that, like I got vaccinated, a lot of people got vaccinated, and you know what I'm saying, that I think that things are going to start turning around, so.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No, for sure. Listen, guys, again, make sure to check out the Hollywood Fix. Thank you, Fletcher. You're the best, dude.
You. We appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
I could always talk to him all day because again, there's 2 things. Number one, there's not a lot of people that do what we do. These entertainment type of journalists, especially what Fletcher and I do. So it's like when I meet people, we can have these like crazy conversations. It's like there's tons of teachers out there. All the teachers could talk to each other and kind of bond over stuff. And for the stuff that we go through, there's only like so many in the world. So like once you kind of have those honest conversations with each other and trying to share experiences with celebrities, it's just kind of fun to like we've had that similar but very experiences that were just wild and insane. It's like some ways we're the ones who understand it, but we also take for granted what we do. I'm trying. So what I was trying to do in this interview, I feel like I was trying to paint the picture of the paparazzi.
Well, I think that you guys are 2 of the most liked cameraman out there. I think that's the one thing that you guys really have in common is celebrities love Fletcher and celebrities love you, Adam. Like, there's not a lot of paparazzi that'll walk around and Oprah is stopping to like chat it up with you and have a conversation. I think that goes a long way about your personality and who you are and how you differentiate yourself from the other guys with cameras out there. And I think both of you guys are on that same level. So it's fun to talk to both of you, I think, about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Fletcher's crushing it. It's really cool. And this was the first podcast. And I told Pat, our producer, before we started, it's, listen, we're taping this on a Friday. It's raining. I'm feeling good. I got a workout in afterwards. I went and had a drink with our boy Dale Moss, and kind of heard about him, see what he's up to. And then I got home. I was like, it's Friday. We're taping this. I want to take an edible. So I did this one high.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast.
I appreciate
Thanks for
that.
sharing. And now I just sitting here all by myself, sober as hell.
Yeah, right. But listen, guys, thank you guys for listening. You can check out this podcast. We do the video format is on YouTube. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on it all. You could find, make sure you check out the Hollywood Raw podcast and leave a review. We have a phone number. Dax, do you know the phone number?
Yeah,
where people
it
can
is
call and leave a questions.
833 HWR line, 833 HWR line. Leave us a message, drunk dial us, high dial us, whatever you need to do. Just leave us a message there. And then obviously, we didn't do it in this episode, but we like to play the fan question roulette where we're actually playing your questions for celebrities, even though you have no idea who's coming on. Go ahead, record yourself, say who you are, where you're from, and DM us that video on Instagram straight to our Hollywood Raw Instagram account.
Yeah, you can find me at Adam Glyn on all social media platforms. You can find Dax Holt at DAXHOLT. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching the Hollywood Raw.
Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe. That way we can be friends for life.